Ask any military veteran and he or she can likely tell you that the battle continues even after returning home. Injuries, both physical and emotional, take their toll well after the fighting is stopped. So enter a group, Take Point Now. Their mission to inspire other veterans to continue on with their lives and maybe even have some record-breaking fun in the process. Our guest is a former Marine officer who went back to active service following the events of 9/11. He saw heavy combat in Iraq. His leadership and drive now on display as team leader at Take Point Now. Welcome PK Ewing to the Hardline. PK, thank you for your service and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that.
It is my pleasure. How did this all get started now? Because this is really just a bunch of guys, it seems like, who got together and they rallied specifically around you, people who really wanted to help you when you returned.
Yes, guys and gals. I was injured and I had a lot of therapy and a few surgeries to go through, and I was inspired by the other veterans I came across at Walter Reed. There were people with catastrophic injuries who were fighting not just to get back to life, but to excel like they did when they were in the service. So learning how to run on new legs so they could go run marathons and become a triathlete or something of that nature. Writing books, climbing mountains. These were some of the things that I was exposed to, and I realized, hey, look, I need to step back up into the game, and I need to be inspiring to other people like they were inspiring to me. Because when you look at veterans, from the moment that we raise our hands and we take the oath, we are part of a team, and you become rewired to work as part of a team. And then when you're in combat or you're stateside or whatever it is, you're doing extraordinary things as part of a team. You might be a 19-year-old aviation tech working on a stealth fighter during a strike with being sleep deprived for 72 hours. You might be kicking in doors and going after high value targets, but you did things as a team. Then when you come home, especially catastrophically, you were at the top of your game at one moment, and then you wake up in a hospital with half your body gone. It's too much to ask. So you need to be re-inspired and reinvigorated by your teammates, by your fellow service members. And that's why I got inspired, and that's why I'm so driven to get others out there to do extraordinary things like we did in the service.
Now they're inspiring you, and a lot of this is built around personal watercraft. Tell us why, because a lot of times when we hear veterans coming back, it's built around getting back into the workforce, maybe back into the community, but the use of jet skis and such, that's really unique.
Well, this is the kind of, veterans are made up of a population that enjoys motorsports. A lot of us used to ride ATVs and motorcycles and jet skis before the service. Now, my injuries are such that I can't ride my motorcycle anymore, I can't snowboard anymore, I can't do a lot of the physical things I did before, so jet skiing was a safe alternative to get that thrill and freedom that I was missing. When my team started training to break the world record, we all realized that every veteran should get the opportunity to go out there, and that's what inspired us to start working on adaptive controls, because until now, if you were paralyzed or if you were missing a limb, you weren't able to ride a jet ski.
You've got to be competitive is what I hear, and I hear this from a lot of veterans who come back, because when you're in that team, you're overseas, you're part of the military, there still is a competitive juice that flows, and when you come home, you've got to be able to challenge yourself, and that's difficult to find many times, isn't it? There's special accommodations have to be made, and people need to understand what you're going through.
Absolutely, and you hit it on the head. The two things that I keep talking about that veterans need is to, one, be part of a team dynamic, just like we were in the military, and two, we need a strong challenge to strive against. We need to be really pushed, and that's when we come into our own. Anything less, and we can fall off track, and then you see some of the problems that veterans are going through in terms of the transitionary issues. But if we can stay together in a team and stay competitive, we could do amazing things.
Here comes the team part and the competitive part, because apparently what you're trying to do here is you're trying to set a Guinness World Record for crossing the Atlantic Ocean in record time on a watercraft. I got friends of mine who won't even cross a lake on a watercraft. They're so afraid. Now we're talking about going across the ocean. Briefly tell us a little bit about this and how it's going.
Okay. That's our biggest and last record we're going for. We have 4 intermediate goals we're going for. They're all going to be very difficult. The first ones we're going after are the individual and the team non-stop distance. It's going to be 3,000 and 2,000 miles respectively, and we'll be going from South Padre Island, Texas, to ending up in New York. Now, when we get across the Atlantic, that's going to take some time and it's going to take a lot of sponsor support. when I get to England, I intend to find my Royal Marine counterparts and throw down the gauntlet and invite them to try to break the record we just set.
Why did I just know that there had to be a little bit? There's that competitive edge. It still has to. You're in the military, but you want to go ahead and make sure that the other guys see it. I think that's awesome. By the way, I want to put up, this is the Take Point Now Indiegogo fundraising page, because quite frankly, this is where they're trying to do this. It's through Facebook. You can go to the Facebook page at facebook.com/takepointnow. It is all one word. There you'll find a link to the fundraising page on Indiegogo. They're raising money to launch that Defender, to make this happen. It is a huge effort to try and help these guys and gals, and it is worth every single penny. PK, I want to thank you very much, to you and the guys and the gals who were involved. We thank you for your service. We can never thank you enough, and we want to say that we're behind you. We hope to help you raise a lot of money here. Get it going, and tell us how that challenge goes on. You got to beat the Limeys from across the sea, all right?
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
There you go, PK. Thanks so much for joining us. All right, I want to point out once again, facebook.com/takepointnow. It is all one word. The website is takepointnow.com. A great cause indeed. Stay with us. The fastest 60 minutes of news, The Hardline, continues.